Sharp Tune with dogged determination in front of length and a half. Down the center of the racetrack comes Copper M, but Sharp Tune's gone. Sharp Tune all the way.
If you've ever been to Sam Houston Race Park, there is a voice that you know, even if you've never met the person. And today I get to sit down with someone who takes chaos and turns it into something we can all understand. Let's go. There he is, the man who's been doing it for 5 years, Nick Tammaro. It's so good to see you again.
Great to see you again. Welcome back to Sam Houston.
Thank you so much. It's good to be back. Let's get in this booth and get cozy with a guy who really has to know it all.
That's one way to describe it, yeah. I get to see it all, at least. It's a great view, and obviously my favorite view in Houston.
This is something that is, you know, a core memory for a lot of Houstonians that come to the race park. They have a good time. If they've never seen you, they have maybe met you in other ways because you are the one who is narrating the races. How did you know you were good at this? Because this is a specific skill.
Yeah, I didn't know if I'd be good at it, but I was given an opportunity to start doing it in 2021 and now full-time, which is great. I was a little kid that ran horses along the floor at home as a 5 or 6 year old, and so I would describe the action that way. So I've been in love with horse racing for 35 years now, and to actually get to do something in it is a blessing.
How much time do you have to spend behind the scenes studying to call a race that is, you know, 2 minutes maybe?
Right, at most, absolutely, yeah. So racing is a passion of mine, looking at racing, handicapping, getting to know the horses, everything that goes along with that. So I start out a week before the race by looking at the horse's form and setting the morning line odds. So the odds that you see on the tote board outside are all made by the public. They adjust based on the amount of money that those horses have wagered on them. So I make what we call the morning line, which is the starting point odds-wise for basically my guess at what the final odds are going to be. So by the time they make it to the racetrack, I'm pretty familiar with them, but I still need a little bit of help from that point until they actually get in the gate.
What do you do when horses kind of look the same? I mean, that's when those, what do you call them, the silks? When those really come in handy.
Exactly. So track announcers are all about silks. People say, oh, do you look at their number or their color of them? No, they're basically all the same color. So that's where this comes in handy. This is my toolbox, which
this is his toolbox, ladies and
probably
gentlemen.
Roughly 150 markers. My daughter Alessandra may have taken a few of them, but my wife Norma filled me up at the beginning of the meet. So I have plenty. I have just about every color you could think of. And so what I do when they come on the racetrack is I color the program so that I know what the silks are. And as far as memorization goes, what I'll do is look at them through the binoculars, and I have a great set of binoculars that I've used since my first day calling races here full time with an image stabilizer. So I'm not a shaky hand guy, but if you were, it would really alleviate that. And so I will look at them, say their name 3 times, and memorize them based on their silks. Those are the binoculars right there.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll take them and look through, and what I want to do is I want to see the horse through the binoculars. So I want to see the silks, I want to see anything about them. I'll make a notation that you'll see on some of these program pages where if they have a set of blinkers on, so for example, Itty Bitty Baby had a gray set of blinkers on, so I'll write a B in gray. The reason why I did that is because when they came on the track, 2 of these horses had very similar silks.
So even though the names are really fun, that is not what your primary focus is, but when you're calling it, you are calling them out by name, so how do you conjoin the two?
So it's funny, what I tell everybody, the key is not necessarily memorizing, it's forgetting. Because I'll memorize them for a race, that's not that difficult, but if you see some of these silks over and over, and you'll see multiple horses on one card with the same set of silks, it's remembering that it's this horse running, not one that ran earlier on in the evening.
Wow.
So that's where the challenge comes in. You know, you might see one set of silks 4 times on a given night, and by the time you see that 4th one, you better not be thinking about the one you saw 3 times before. So it's about memorizing and forgetting quickly too.
And then that's how you're able to keep it fresh and keep it the exact way it needs to be for race day.
Exactly right. And as soon as they leave the gate, I'm describing the action with nothing prepared, no prompter, no nothing. It's all extemporaneous. It's all what comes to mind. When you try and use canned lines, they often sound canned. So it's about making sure they sound somewhat natural in terms of your normal vernacular and not a little forced. Then comes a trio of Madamoose Poos, Copper M, and the widest is Promises to Dance, a length and a half in front of Mama's Having a Hot Flash, who's 6th and last past the half-mile pole, 3 lengths off the leader. Sharp Tune with breakaway speed heading into the far turn is in front of length, Madamoose Poos.
When you hear yourself back, do you have a favorite adjective? Do you have a favorite verb that you quite like?
Yeah, there are a few that I seem to go. If I notice that a jockey is really kind of riding a horse hard, I'll say so-and-so is cajoled along. And cajole is a good word, and it's not a word that you hear all that often. I try not to steal a lot from other announcers, so you don't want to be a parrot. But I like to use that. I like to use descriptive words about what's going on. So I'll refer to some of the markers on the racetrack as, you'll see these colored poles around, and, they'll go by the 3 furlong pole on the turn, and I usually refer to that as the 3/8 peg. Say things like they cast the 3/8 peg astern, things like that. So I'll say a certain horse can see them all when they're last. Just things like that kind of make it a little bit more vivid. I want to reach the people that may not be seeing it, they're only hearing me, and describe it as if they were like physically watching it right next to me.
Well, just show me a little bit on how it works. So you have the program, you have the binoculars. Where is the mic?
Yeah, so the mic is the headset right behind me.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you put this on.
May I?
Yeah, go for it,
Okay,
absolutely. So you would put this on like normal.
Okay.
Obviously get the mic as close to your mouth as possible so you can be heard.
And I would be here,
You would be right here, yeah.
Okay.
You would want to give yourself the best vantage point possible. So
Okay.
the good thing about our racetrack is that you have a totally unencumbered view.
Yeah.
The only thing that's a little sketchy is when we run a 7 furlong race out of the chute, I kind of have to look between the trees, but not that big a deal. Those binoculars are high enough power.
These are high powered.
So
I can see like the leaves on the trees you're talking about specifically one by one. That is crazy. Well, you know what? I love your office. Thank you for showing us the best view in the house. You really are our eyes and our ears on the ground there.
Absolutely. No, and luckily I get to be in the sky, which is even better.
It's so cool. That's so cool. Maybe me, Derek, Lauren, and Mel, we line up and then you can call us as we try to go around this.
No question about it. I can call it right now.
Well, you heard it to my coworkers. We can get an official race going if you guys want it. Or if you're scared, that's fine too.
Okay, challenge accepted,
Okay,
Tessa.
good.
And based on
Okay.
the video I saw earlier, you have set the bar very high.
Exactly. So just be ready.
After
for
the show?
anything. Why not?
Okay.
What else are you going to do?
Go back to the office? No, I'm going to stay here and enjoy the races.